This is the closing market report for Monday on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. On the phone right now with Bill Moore of Price Futures Group as we wrap up another day in the ag marketplace. Bill, what have we seen going on in the grain and livestock markets today?
Well, it's not your average weekend with President Trump declaring war in the U.S. and Israel on Iran Saturday morning. And just the market's reaction to that's been pretty interesting. Kind of a two-sided reaction. Probably what most indicates that or represents that would be the bean market. If you look at the 5-minute chart of the beans, overnight they were at 11.85 on the opening. Up about, it's in the May beans, it's up about 12 or 13. The knee-jerk up, and all the grains were higher on the opening last night at 7 o'clock because of the oil factor. If they close the Straits of Hormuz, that cuts the oil off and less oil, higher prices. So that was a knee-jerk, was up. All the grains and in the market reconsidered because China is in favor of our attack on Iran because they get a lot of their oil from Iran and also Venezuela. So we've taken away 2 of their suppliers in the last 2 weeks. And this puts in jeopardy the U.S.-Chinese trade agreement, where they're going to buy 8 million more metric tons of our beans this year, and also puts in question whether or not we'll meet China, President Trump and President Xi in Beijing April. So the market reconsidered spiking higher off the higher energy prices and corrected. And now we're 14 minutes from the close with a corn market down 3, bean market down 6. Although it's recovered, it was down at one time 13, and the wheat market is down 14. At one time, it was down about 17. So wheat not recovering too much. So kind of a two-sided trade. See how this plays out. You never know in these wars. They're easy to get into, sometimes hard to get out of. And Trump is saying maybe 3 or 4 weeks. We'll just see what happens. But the market had a two-sided reaction today. And the other important markets, the outside markets, also had a kind of a different reaction. The stock market was down at one time about 800 points, and now it's only down about 70. So it's come back a ways. Oil market at one time was up about $5 or $6. Actually, almost $8. Now it's only up 3.5. And the market that probably has pulled the grains down a little bit today would be the U.S. dollar is down. U.S. dollar is down 100 points right now. It's a pretty good, or is up 100 points right now. It's a pretty good rally off all this unrest and uncertainty in the Mideast, highest it's been since late January, and that's been a negative on the grain. So we did have export inspections back to its own fundamentals that were extremely good. Just a reminder that the demand is still there. Corn, 1.858 million metric tons. Beans, 1.137 million metric tons. Wheat, 344,000 tons. So StoneX did also come out with a reduced estimate for soys, which helped the market. They originally said 181 million metric tons. Now they're down to 177. So a lot of items on both sides of the market. All in all, the markets, I think, probably weathering this uncertainty pretty well when you consider, what's happened here. It's a big development, maybe the biggest since in the 2 terms that Trump's been in. And but the market is right now, as you go into the close, 3 lower in the corn, 7 lower in the soy. So that's not too bad considering the implications of the China trade not going well off of this war development. Livestock-wise, the same kind of roller coaster. If you look at the April cattle contract, the 5-minute chart, it was down, had a spike down early this morning. At one time, it was down about around 229, and rallied all the way and closed at over 233. So from being down, as I said, it was down about $4 to $5 this morning, and it closed higher. Same thing, the hogs were down earlier, and they closed pretty much unchanged in April. So I think that's just a question of demand. The calendar, we turned the calendar over the weekend. We're looking now at March, and the grilling season's very close at hand. And with that, the best demand period of the year for pork and beef. And I think that's going to bring cattle prices, especially higher from the recent break. They've had a break. Cattle has had a break of about $12 or $13 since the middle of February, and I think the market will they'll buy that break up as we move to the end of March off very good demand in the supermarkets.
All right, Bill, lots of great information today. For anyone who would like to get in touch for more marketing information and check out your newsletter, how can they do that?
630-947-5176, wmoorepricegroup.com. Check out my newsletter, Agmaster, for www.pricegroup.com, the company website. Look at the bios of Jack Scoville and myself. We've both been here a long time. We'd love to help you out.
That again was Bill Moore of Price Futures Group. We'll look at the numbers next.
In rural Iowa, you need reliable information. The Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network brings you ag-specific content like market trends, weather outlooks, and policy updates that matter to your operation, while your local station brings you community news and consistent updates on what is happening in your area. It's a partnership built for the challenges of rural life. Your farm, your local station, and your friends at the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, where Iowa Ag matters. Find us online at iowaagnet.com.
At the close, March corn down 5.5 at 4.33 1/4. March soybeans down 7 1/4 at 11.50 even. March soybean meal down 7.20 at 3.0830. March soybean oil up 88 cents at 62.17. Chicago wheat down 16 3/4 at 5.74 1/2. Kansas City hard red winter wheat down 5 3/4 at 5.67 even. Minneapolis spring wheat down 1 3/4 at 5.97 1/2. March oats down 4.5 at 3.10 3/4. On the Merc, April live cattle up 87 cents at 233.10. March feeders up $1.85 at 357.27. April lean hogs down 15 cents at 95.57. And April pork cutout unchanged at 103.40. March class 3 milk unchanged as well at 16.28. That's been a check of the closing market prices. Thanks again to Bill Moore of Price Futures Group for joining us today here on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, where Iowa Ag matters. I'm Riley Smith.